I don't know if this was Armstrong's first book or if this was just sort of a booklet that he came up with. He wrote a lot of publications. It was called Does God Heal Today? This is the book where he talks about his divine healing through prayer. Okay. One of his major teachings that I don't think changed throughout his career. He taught that drugs, medicine, and knives of doctors are all idolatrous and practices of the heathens, and that if you actually get a sickness, it's because of sin. So if, say, we got COVID, that was because of some sin that we
So what did our parents, when they went to the feast during the height of fucking COVID and they all got COVID, what how do they contextualize that now? How
because they
did our
sin
mother
somewhere.
contextualize it when she had to have cesarean sections for all of her babies? Like, that's a knife of a doctor. I mean, apparently that's
Right.
idolatry.
Oh my fucking.
I mean,
We'll
it's
talk about that.
they
Yes,
say
we'll
these
talk
things
about
to
that.
get people in line, and then it's not. Ugh. Okay. Anyway.
Right. So we're going to cover the world tomorrow. All of a sudden, Armstrong had this expand into Radio Luxembourg, and then it went into Europe. It went into other countries around the world. Now, how did Armstrong get this name? I am going to jump back here to the 1939 World's Fair. You know what that was titled? The one that took place in New York City? It was called The World of Tomorrow. I shit you not, Patty. A lot of people say that
Oh,
Armstrong's
he
World
thought of
Tomorrow
nothing
program,
on his own. He thought of nothing on his own.
that's what I'm telling you. He plagiarized, he appropriated, he came up with nothing, Patty, because he wasn't creative. He could not come up with any business venture on his own. He had to
He
use the
just knew
Bible
how to
and
make
other
people
people's
believe
work.
stuff.
Exactly.
He
Yes.
was a swindler. He was only a con man. He was only a con man. He was only a con man.
It saturated into the culture like a bad virus. It grew like crazy from like about 1953 onwards, because all of a sudden he would eventually change the name of his program, or the name of his church, to Worldwide Church of God, because it reached so many different countries, which he was very proud about. Um, that same year, when it went over into Europe and other countries, he even got on ABC television network. And so he's on top of like the early beginnings of television and recording audio visual. He's getting his message out, Patty.
I really dislike that he was able to be at the forefront of that technology coming into its own and be able to like exploit it and use it. I mean, it's so much like how the fact that scrolls were switching to codices at the time that the what would become Bible scriptures was being put out there. And so the technology drove it forward. I usually love technology, but damn it.
Sometimes people use things for evil, and that's just something we have to accept.
Well, that's really it, right? Everything could be used for good or evil. And then there's Rule 34, which states that anything that exists in reality or conceptually, there will be pornographic depictions of it. So, I mean, you have good, you have evil, you have porn of it. That is just a fact.
Beautiful. That was heartwarming to the
Oh,
soul. We
heartwarming.
had souls.